Hello, everybody. Welcome to the 20th anniversary screening of Hero for a Day. My name is Eric Norcross, and I have been asked to make this video introduction to tell you more about this project. One, why we made it, why are we screening it 20 years later, what was making it like, and basically, what is all this for? So, 20 years ago this month, we premiered this movie on the island. We premiered it on the back deck of the Spa restaurant. As you can see from this footage, it was a full-blown premiere. We had a screen, we had a projector, we had a sound system, we had free food. See, this is me with the crudités and the sign that we had out front telling everybody that we were having a screening. So this was a heavily promoted event on the island in August of 2002. And I knew at that moment that I was going to want to show it again. And for some reason, 20 years always stuck in my head. I'm like, 20 years later, we're going to show this movie again. I knew I wasn't going to be staying on the island much longer, and I didn't. I left the following year. But I knew that no matter how long I was going to be gone, I would come back 20 years later and show this movie again. And so I'm going to talk to you about what production was like and why we started this production. I had just gotten back from a foundational film program in Vancouver, and I was aching to make a movie. Anybody who has an arts brain and is pursuing the art life knows what it's like to ache to create. And for a filmmaker, I really wanted to make a movie, and I wanted to make one on the island with islanders, because there's a spirit to community filmmaking that I knew could really make this production memorable and meaningful.
I know exactly what.
Good. Me.
Eric, how do you like the movie business?
Well, the only magic in it is that it can make your money disappear like that.
And it was a wonderful experience. My chief collaborator, Brandon Geistert, is the perfect collaborator a person could have. And I've never been able to find anyone like him in all my years living in New York.
Condensation. It's been so hot under this thing. Look at this. The wood is sweating.
And come to think of it, the feeling I had, the vibe I had while making Hero for a Day, I've never been able to duplicate it, not in a professional setting and not in any of my other independent films that I've done on my own accord since then. So this movie is very special for a lot of reasons. The collaborators, the setting, and just the time in my life when it was produced. With that said, it's a very silly movie. We had more fun making it than I had anticipated going into it. And you know what they say in the industry is if you have a lot of fun making a movie, the movie's not going to turn out the way you think it's going to turn out. But at least you had fun doing it. And that's definitely the case with this movie, because I was after a serious action movie, and what we got was a silly homemade action movie, but one with a lot of professional touches. So our main influences at the time were movies like The Rock and Armageddon, and we ended up making Threat Level Midnight well before The Office even went to air. So this is our Threat Level Midnight, only it's ours, so it's way more important than Threat Level Midnight. And we shot it on mini DV. So this was before the proliferation of high definition technology. And it was on a camera slightly more advanced than this, but this is pretty close to what we shot it on. And for the chase scene, we actually had 3 cameras going. We had the main mini DV camera, and then we had 2 analog 8mm video cameras. So all old formats, now completely obsolete, but one of the earliest digital independent films to be produced. This is the size of the tapes that we initially shot on. So again, it's all obsolete by this point. And that summer, I made, I think, 150 VHS copies, and this is one of the last ones that still remain. So we were like handing these copies out like candy. I honestly don't know how many copies are still left. We were giving them to everyone, and in my collection, and I take the archival of video very seriously, I only have one. I have obviously the mini DV digital masters, which have since been rescued, and I have this master, which has also been digitally rescued. What happened was we made the movie. We had a great time. We were experimenting with visual effects. We had made a green screen using a piece of plywood we had taken off of the old barracks, and we were just messing around and goofing off while also taking it very seriously. Like we were constructing a story in the medium of cinema, which hadn't been done on the island before. And that's pretty cool. In 2009, Brandon came to visit me in New York for a couple of weeks, and we re-edited the movie using a completely different score, a completely different color grade, and we were just experimenting to see, well, what else can we do with this footage? Like, what kind of vibe can we get from it? And I actually learned a lot during the process, and although my intent was to make the final version of the movie then, that just wasn't going to be the case. The final version of the movie is the movie you're about to see. I'm not touching it again after this. At least I don't plan to, unless some new footage is rediscovered that I absolutely have to integrate, which I'm pretty sure isn't going to happen. This new version was actually started a couple of years ago, prior to the pandemic. I knew the 20th anniversary screening was coming up, and I said to myself, I am going to redigitize, re-import all the raw materials that I have. And for the most part, I have most of the raw materials. I think there was only one tape missing. And that's pretty good for like a movie like this, where it had no budget, no archival budget or anything like that. To have only one tape of missing footage, those are some good numbers right there. And so prior to the pandemic, I started re-editing this movie from scratch and reorganizing it, taking what I learned from the first version that we premiered at the SPAR and what I learned from re-editing it in 2009. And I merged the two versions together in sort of a master 20th anniversary edition. And I actually finished editing it during the pandemic. So it actually took a few years to do. One of the interesting and unforeseen things that occurred while I was working on this new edition was I no longer really cared about the movie or the story we were trying to tell as much as I cared about the raw footage itself. Because something weird happens 20 years after you make a movie. You realize that you, your friends, your family, your collaborators, everybody you were working with in that era are suddenly more interesting in raw form than they are when they're putting on performances.
Try not to squint.
Oh, just try not to squint at the fusion lit
Put
light.
the gloves on.
When I'm digitizing these tapes, I have to watch them in full. You can't just do it quickly. It's not like transferring files. You play the tape back in real time and the computer records it. So I'm watching this footage and I'm enamored with all of us. I'm like, wow, this is really interesting. We're so young and beautiful, and look at the way I talk. You listen to the way I talk. Listen to the way Sean talks. Listen to the way Brandon talks. This is so beautiful and amazing. And I can't tell you how many times I watched those raw tapes again and again and again. And it occurred to me that this final version of the movie should reflect what I think is important now. And that's, of course, archiving and making available who we were and how we were in 2002.
She's on the couch, so you know.
No, I went up. So you have to move.
So while I did reconstruct the movie using raw materials and I built it out a little bit more, and I fixed the sound design, I finished some of the visual effects I never got to finish before. I also wanted to integrate a lot of the footage that I found particularly fascinating, and for the most part, they were the outtakes. And so if you sit through the end credits, I have included some of the best outtakes that I could find. And now this movie is whole. Before it wasn't whole. Before we had very questionable visual effects and some incomplete visual effects and some effects we didn't even try to do, even though we wanted to. And on the second version of it, we still didn't try to do them because technology and talent hadn't quite caught up. But on this version of the movie, all the visual effects I had initially wanted to do, they're finally done. Thanks to Fiverr making talent available across international borders. I actually had people from all over the world contributing to the post-production of this movie. The sound design and sound mix is now as professionally done as it can possibly be. I had it professionally mixed in the United Kingdom, which is interesting. I had a professional poster finally made. Everything I wanted to do in 2002 but couldn't do, I've finally been able to do with this movie. Everything I learned in 2009 that I wanted to retain has also been integrated into this movie. So it's not only those two movies that have been melded together with the best of the things that I've done, but it's enhanced by the inclusion of the outtakes, the raw footage, and sort of the feeling of, I don't want to say nostalgia, but just, we're going to use nostalgia as a placeholder. There's a feeling that one gets when they realize, well, the important thing was who we were and how we interacted, how we communicated, and the fact that we were able to get this all together. I'm still blown away by it. And as I said before, I've not been able to duplicate this experience. And because of that, this film matters more than probably anything I've created since. And I've created a lot since with a lot more resources. So that says a lot about the importance of community collaboration when it comes to projects like this. Art matters, community matters, and before we move on, I just wanted to thank you for attending this screening. By attending this screening, you're not only supporting the film or me as a filmmaker, but you're supporting the efforts of everyone involved, because it takes a lot to say, yes, I will help you make this movie. Yes, I want to be involved in your art project. You know, when somebody has nothing to gain and they're willing to step forward and do it anyway, it's so incredibly inspiring. So thank you, and thank you to everybody who worked on this movie back in 2002. And here is the 20th anniversary screening of the 20th anniversary restoration of Hero for a Day, which I was plotting to do 20 years ago.
I'm just kidding, everybody. Except for Sean. I was serious. You really need to put a shirt on, boy, because you ain't all that in a bag of chips.
I think you should consider going the other way on this, Jack.
I know that this isn't the time.
I've already made my decision. I'm going to make a plea to the government to have computer power removed from the silos forever.
Come on, guys. What are you up to?
Well, I'm sorry you had to come to that conclusion, Jack.
This is gonna be a long day.
The hell's the matter with you, Sean?
What are you talking about?
Back there, you almost sent me over my friggin' handlebar.
Hey, it's a matter of what matters, and that doesn't fucking matter. Now, does it, Pookie?
Oh, screw. Yeah. Oh. Oh.
Wait, don't do anything crazy here. Don't. Sean would wreck you.
You think those military skills scare me, you freak?
They should.
Please don't kill him.
Fine.
Oh, hell, you'll never be able to use skills like that anyway. You would never let a loser like you enlist in the military.
Fucking perk anyways.
He's such a jarhead.
Status update.
Her name is Claire Lauren Wright, sir. She was born in 1984. She attended PHS in the fall of 1999.
Oh, god damn it to fucking hell. Dispatch aerial and maritime support. Quarantine the island and secure the tape. Kill everyone if you have to. And Mitchell, say hi to your mom for me.
Fuck. I hate it when he fucking does that. Ugh. I don't want to fight him, but he asked for it.
Here, take this. Make copies. Hide them. They're everywhere.
Hey, what is it? Hey, wait!
Mr. Nichols. Good morning. Sorry you had to wait. This is an unexpected visit. So what brings you up from Washington?
The missile silos.
You're worried about the computer power, aren't you?
Yeah, they're gonna remain in, or am I gonna be out of business soon?
Look, I assure you that the computer power is going to stay in the silos. What happened a month ago was a minor screw-up. These things happen when major changes are just getting off the ground.
How do you know it won't be brought up again?
Because the problem that threatened our deal in the first place has been taken care of, I assure you. The problem is non-existent. I really think a simple phone call would have been cheaper, don't you, Mr. Nichols?
Every time I talk to you on the phone, you seem unsure of yourself. Now you seem a little too sure of yourself.
Yeah, I've been really busy lately. Oh, shit.
What?
There it is.
What? Damn.
Fucking Naval Air Force.
I guess.
Oh my god.
Hello?
Hey, Mike, it's Sean.
Hey, what do you want?
Listen, I don't have enough time to explain this, but I got a tape. And I'm gonna be hiding it in the old generator warehouse, right?
Okay, keep talking.
And if anything should happen to me, I want you to take it, and you'll know what to do with it.
Fine.
And listen, forget about what happened earlier. We're still buds, right?
Sure, right.
Alright. Thanks, man. Alright, bye.
Yeah.
This is Mitchell. Yes, I've located the tape.
That's what passes for good news these days.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right.
Support. Mr. Nichols is staying on the island. Show him how welcome he truly is.
Boo, I want the tape.
You are not getting it.
Make this easy on yourself and give me the tape.
It's in a safe place. You'll never find it.
Have you seen the tape?
Yeah, I saw what was on the tape. I saw your anal retentive ass killing that guy.
Well, just give me the tape and I won't do anything to you.
Screw you!
That's how it's gonna be.
You motherfucker!
Sick son of a bitch.
I want the tape, son.
Oh, fuck you!
Just give me the tape and you can go home.
Over my fucking dead body. You ain't getting the tape.
That's how it's gonna be.
Rick.
why don't you take this knife and kill yourself?
What the fuck? Holy shit.
Operation aborted. Operation has failed. I repeat, abort further movements. Abort further movements.
Action.
Come on, guys. What are you doing?
You gotta do it louder.
Okay.
Don't.
Better at, like, making myself cry. Are you ready?
I can act. I'm the best actor in the world.
Quick, take this, please.
What is it?
Make copies of it. Oh, here, take this.
What is it?
Don't. Here, quick, take this.
They're everywhere. Make copies.
Make copies.
Silly.
Silly.
You like Sean. Be angry and hating life. I'm not.
Okay.
Dude, action.
Stop looking at me. Okay.
All right, we gotta go. We're losing daylight.
All right.
I think you should consider going the other way on this, Jack.
I forgot my line.
Move to take the computer power out altogether.
I know, I'm looking in that direction. Can you see it?
No,
All right.
not that kind of shot. I'm gonna step in the frame. Ready?
Come on, you sick son of a bitch.
3, 2, 1, bump.
All right, now zoom in, get sort of.
I'm gonna mail them to every news place in town, even the Washington, D.C. Post.
Like, want to bet?
3, 2, 1, shift again. Round 1.
Right.
Oh, you know what Sean did in town?
Oh, man.
He walked up to a window and he goes, ugh. He looked at his six-pack and
And a window in town, a car window. Oh, it's
I'm a guy. So come on.
Oh, hell, you'll never be able to use those military... Oh, shit. Okay, try that again.
Keep going.
Oh, hell, you'll never be able to... Jeez.
You'll never be
Go
able
again.
to use those skills anyway.
Screw you.
Oh, do it.
All right.
So strong.
What's on this tape?
I saw.
Have you seen what's on this tape?
Yeah, I saw your anal retentive ass killing that guy.
Action.
Have you seen what's on this tape?
Yeah, I saw what was on the tape.
Yeah, I've seen your face.
We're doing it!
All right, and...
All right.
Action.
Have you seen what's on this tape?
Yeah, I saw what was on the tape.
Have you seen what's on this tape?
Hold on, I haven't hit action yet.
Do I have to say anal
recording. Oh,
retentive?
okay.
Do I have to say anal retentive? Okay, I'll do it.
Eric, how are you feeling about right now?
I feel like a fucking ass.
Not smile.
Come over. Go on.
You just want me to stand here and look back and forth?
Yeah.
Stop! I don't know what to say.
Up.
Stick it
Up.
up.
This is Mitchell. Yes, I've located the tape.
Do
Yes.
your missile silos line again.
Brandon, when you're ready, say action.